MIB versus Astralis. This has been a slugfest, to say the absolute least, in a map that you would hate to see end one way or the other. Great Counter-Strike being delivered here at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. My name is Trey Saranthus, alongside of Sean Gares and Jacob Vinicky. We're going to be walking you through what just took down here on Overpass and who took down that of MIBR.
And just like the last 7 of their 8, this one goes the distance, all 30 rounds. Astralis winning both pistols. The first gun round on their first half. I think that was what really, changed how this match fell.
I think MIBR is going to be very disappointed.
Yes.
They weren't able to win this match. As you said, they lost both pistols, yet they still had a very strong T side. It felt like they dominated Astralis to a point on that T side. Felt like they were in full control, and it really felt like MIBR was very well prepared coming into this Overpass matchup. It slipped through, though. They weren't able to clinch it, and that's a big off.
So the 3 rounds that MIBR lost where they had guns, the 1v3 to start where they ran out of time, the force buy that they lost, and then the 3v3 retake on the A site where Device hit an insane shot on Fallen. Every other round they had rifles, they won in that first half, and yet still they fall in this game.
Yeah, and one thing that definitely didn't make it easier for them, of course, all things considered, and everyone firing is just as high caliber as they can go here, Magisk. This guy put on a performance. I could run you through all the numbers I have in the world here. I could talk to you about how, he had 106.1 ADR, or between him and Glaive, they combined for 16 multi-kill rounds. But he certainly put himself on the board here.
He was very impactful. It was also the guy with the Deagle getting the frag on Fer when he was pushed all the way up until the 8 bomb site that basically secured the round for Astralis. Super impactful, super good to see Magic's taking a role in this team, a little more proficient role, I would say. He's not normally the guy you go to and look towards when you need the big fraggers to come out for Astralis. He's always been that third star of the team. But this tournament so far, Magic's is playing some of his best Counter-Strike.
Yeah, like you said, the most important frag of the entire match was Magisk when he killed Fer at the truck. In that angle. It was a 5v4, and he deegs Fer in the head. And from there, MIBR is kind of like baited into retaking that site when Fallen spams one through the wall. And dupreeh just with the play of the game on the truck.
Yeah, it's almost like we've heard of that before. And I talked to you about numbers. I got some more for you. Right now, dupreeh, Glaive, Device, and Zipex really kind of being put to the test here. This is an Astralis that we're seeing actually having to come online and use all the mechanisms. They're not just going to be cruising through Overpass.
I hate to point out specific players, but I'm a little bit disappointed in Fallen's performance in this matchup. I think he could have had a lot more impact with the AWP. He had many chances of getting kills. He wasn't really connecting all the shots, and he put himself in tough positions. Not a Fallen with confidence we're seeing right now playing.
Yeah, we definitely said that was one of the key things for MIBR to succeed in this matchup is Fallen hadn't really shown much so far in the event so far. And it wasn't until he got that 3K at the A bomb site, and that was really the only round that I can recall that he had impact in.
Well, the impact does not stop there, guys. In fact, we could even talk a little bit about that B side of the map. There was quite a bit going on there. Astralis trying to abuse this for what it's worth, Jacob.
Yeah, we have a little thing for the Telestrator I would like to show you guys. It's an orbital view of Astralis B bomb site hit at the score 9-9. So if we play out the clip right here, you can see the smokes and flash is coming in from Astralis, and it's a very basic hit from Astralis. They've done this 100 times before. Now, what I would like you guys to focus on is this guy in CT spawn and this dude. They really play together. This dude, as soon as the smokes comes in, he throws a smoke that's gonna land right here, which forces Astralis to move around this area if they want to get inside the pit area. So if we play out the clip, you can see what happens. They instantly get the smoke down. They instantly group up. They're both gonna stand around here, and this is what I like a lot about MIBR. They're playing together. They're really trying to do this and deal with this as a team. So in a second, you can see a third guy coming in from CT spawn, and this is where it all goes down. You have 1, 2, 3 guys from MIBR ready to deal with these 3 players from Astralis, and the trades goes down inside the favor of MIBR, playing defensively on the bomb side. Now, if we move to the next round, the score is currently 12-12, and this is what I like so much about Astralis. They kept bullying that B bomb side. Play out the clip, you can see this is very basic Counter-Strike. Have a look at the minimap, have a look at Glaive. This is all you need for a very, very simple strat. What Astralis does is they just brute force their way inside the B bomb site. 4 guys rushing in, Glaive with a Molotov, with a smoke, smoking heaven, and then instantly rotates in towards short, where he gets 2 kills coming in from connector. This is Astralis picking up the pace, simply brute forcing their way into the B bomb site, because as we just saw before, MIBR like to play that defensively. They didn't do this time around, and that's why Astralis was able to win that fight on the B bomb site time and time again. The CT side of MIBR needs to be worked on, and especially that B bomb site defense.
Well, Jacob's saying that CT side needs to be worked on here. Sean, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Do you agree with Jacob?
I think Astralis definitely just destroyed the B bomb site time and time again. They kept throwing a bridge smoke that baited the MIBR players into jumping on the ledge behind the bomb site box. And it looked like it was by design because Astralis was very, very aware of the gap in that smoke, and rarely did someone die because of it.
Well, maybe it was by design, and maybe we'll get some insight into that right now. We have the opportunity to hear from Zonic direct as we look into what will be the second map of the series. So let's go ahead and head down there and check it out with Frankie.
Zonic, what happened on Overpass?
It was a tough game, and I don't know, I spent 8 hours preparing for them, and then they picked Overpass, and this team doesn't have a record on Overpass. Maybe the formal lineup had, but then the meta has changed, so it was very difficult, and we had to rely on our own game, but in the end it worked, but we couldn't get the economy rolling as CT, and they played really well.
Can we talk about your T side though? What was the obsession with the B side in the first half of that?
I think we tend to overthink it a little bit, because if we push B, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, then we take a timeout, then we expect them to expect us to go towards A. But we are a stubborn team, and we also got some knowledge on how they were playing the B bomb side by going there a couple of times. So then we got some read over about.
I have to say there were a few uncharacteristic mistakes though, like that that last minute rotate to the A site as well. Do you think the boys are feeling a bit too much pressure at the moment?
No, I think it was they knew, because there was a guy coming from behind, so they knew that we were going. They were going B, so we expected the rest of the team to be at the B bomb side. But then when we started rotating, they have a shorter way to the A bomb side. So, and then the time wasn't on our side, so that was probably not the best call. But I understood it when it was called. So yeah.
Well, listen up, Sonic. You've got Inferno next, and you've got a blooming good record on it. So what's the plan?
Well, we hopefully we can get that banana control both as T and CC side. So yeah, we have a pretty good idea of how they are playing. So now we just need to calm down a bit and then reset, because people are a bit emotional right now, including myself. So now we just need to spend the next couple of minutes just relaxing a bit and getting on Ursk.
Well, Zonic, thank you so much. I'll let you reset. Appreciate your time. I can't wait to see the Battle of Banana on the next map.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to have here, Frankie. And, you know, we talk about Inferno, and we can talk about the swagger that Astralis is about to carry over into it. You've got to think that after that matchup there on Overpass, they're going to have some momentum and say, you know what, we've got this ballpark.
It definitely will, and Inferno is a home map of Astralis.
Yeah.
They are going to be starting on the T side, though, so that is something that MIBR has going in their favor, right? Because, I mean, gosh, Astralis' banana control with Glaive and Zipix, rotating device around to get set up with the AWP, it's almost unbeatable.
I mean, Astralis have won 11 out of 11 Inferno matches the past 3 months, so it's definitely not looking too good for MIBR. That said, though, we have seen them play Inferno in this tournament 3 times. Yes. I do remember a 16-3 loss against Cloud9. That wasn't too pretty, but apart from that, it's actually been looking okay from MIBR, but not to the level that you can fight Astralis.
Yeah, and we just keep reflecting back to that 16-3 because it's basically the only glimpse we've gotten within this major itself. Inferno being that second map, guys, does it end here?
I have a hard time thinking Astralis is going to lose this map unless Fallen goes absolutely bonkers.
I would say there's a bigger chance that ENCE wins the grand final tomorrow than MIBR winning now.
Well, now that is a claim right there. Either way, we will be loading into Inferno for the second map of the semifinal. It's going to be MIBR versus Astralis. And the real question here on that path to the final is, who will be the first 3-time major champion? Will it be Device or coldzera? We're still a little ways away, but for what it's worth, it's going to be Inferno with Vince and Jason.
Well, if MIBR want a shot at it, they have to win here. Down 0-1. Astralis just tears Overpass away from them down the stretch, and now on Inferno. Astralis are very dominant on this map.
They sure are. That's why coming into this, we felt that MIBR really needed to pick up that first map to have a solid chance. But who knows, we're in the semi-finals of the major, an IEM event, so much history behind it. History to be forged by one of these two teams. And the early aggression up Banana may yield some kills, but Zipex, he definitely heard the footsteps, he definitely can hear. Phelps around the corner, but Dupree's gonna take the kill away from him. The result is the same though, and Astralis will pick up the first blood.
What a risky play to make in the pistol round of this map. That is intense. Taco is alone at A, and he's already been tagged down to 15. That's gonna force Fallen to bust up the stack at B and rotate over. Astralis already in round 1, just manipulating the map in their favor. Taco's going to switch positions. He's going to go over towards the B bomb site. They want 3 players there. They believe this is going to be the final destination for Astralis in this round, and looks like they're correct.
Flash lined up for the CT side. Taco hasn't been affected by it. Nearly blocks the smoke, but it's still going to plume in his face, so he can't really hold on from CT any longer. There are 3 players, though, at the back of the B side, one of which has been found and alleviated away. And Coldzera going to hold the line with 2. If he flicked to that third, the crowd would have lost their minds. It's still a 2-on-3, though, and Fallen's dropped the bomb. Astralis now, they're in trouble. Taco in a really solid position. So important that Dupree plants up on the coffins. If he's shown anything, he would have been fragged, and it's going to be going down anyway to the hands of Taco from the backside. Now Fallen, if all that remains, and Mages finds the headshot. It was such a strange back and forth round, but Astralis just about hold on.
Fallen had to have just never suspected that Magisk was going to slide out like that and be aggressive. He catches him completely off guard. An otherwise beautiful round from MIBR, just clinging, just holding on for what they can. This was a great sequence. I'm not sure why Glaive bailed out of the bomb site with the bomb later on, but that almost ruined everything. They got punished by that on overpass by a very curious late round decision. They almost do one here in the pistol, but either way, they do get the win. That's all that matters. MIBR going to buy up into this. Astralis won both pistols on overpass. They have the first pistol here on Inferno.
What can they do with it, though? MIBR with a healthy dosage of weaponry early on. And grenades, 4 smokes. They can bide their time for quite a while. It's going to be based on calls, though. Fallen up close with the scout. But it's going to be B that's getting it pressured from 3 of Astralis' players.
This is a really tough hit for Fallen to hit if he has to flick over towards Boiler as he peers towards mid. Takes a more shallow angle, and this is just Astralis trying to make sure that all the utility, all the smokes are taken before they eventually do attack. And now grouping up towards mid. Flashbang, Fallen's got to fall away. And there's not a whole lot of players here to really mount a defense on this bomb site. It's 1 player, Taco guarding halls and lane, and then Fallen guarding rap side against 5. They must do it all.
It's labored by Zipex, but fortunately it wasn't enough firepower to deal with him. And the site is being crushed. The collapse onto A is successful. MIBR want to hold on to these guns, so Astralis will take the second round. Just being careful, ensure that no other CTs lurking around the outskirts of the site. Now they've realized that's not the case. They're already sending players over towards the other side of the map now. Dupree, he wants blood. He wants to take some of these guns away. Needs to be careful what he wishes for. He's about to walk into Phelps with a CZ, but it's only a MAC-10.
Yeah, Device wants nothing to do with this. He sees that peek from the bomb site. There's no reason for him to move forward. Let him have whatever they keep. 2-0 for Astralis. Actually, the rest of them are coming in now. There's the flashbang. Fur isolated alone at first oranges. They've got to swing from the other angle. It's not going to happen just yet. And actually now, Astralis right at the end of this bomb timer might just take so much away. Phelps with a MAC-10 kill, and he disappears into the smoke. And that is going to be it. So 2 kills, 2 salvaged weapons for MIBR. They're not going to be unhappy with that. They'll be able to pass a pistol over or one of the MAC-10s. Or the 1 MAC-10 in the UMP. So a little bit of danger still. A little bit of something to fight with for MIBR. There's that crowd. There's that Brazilian corner. Portuguese corner.
Very supportive corner, it is 2. Additionally, Phelps did get a kill with a MAC-10. So his money was up to 3,100. So you can actually afford a smoke and a HE. HE's just gone out, not going to yield anything in return.
When the guns come out, MIBR is going to have to find a way to fight for some of this map control. You cannot, on this map, just let Astralis have whatever they want. They are so very good at moving across the map and aggressively taking portions of it. So you're going to want that op and fall, and you're going to want them to be able to control Banana. That's a good dink through the edge of the wall. So Dupree, actually, it's pretty superficial, but coldzera finished him off from behind. Now an AK-47 in Fallen's hands, and he might have to get aggressive to try and make a play to try and win this. coldzera's going to swing out for Vault, but the UMP can't do it. Fallen takes too long for that kill. Glaive with a solid trade. And now MIBR just has to cross their fingers and hope that Astralis comes to the B bomb site. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it stands to reason if you have 2 or 3 players pushing down mid, it's unlikely you've got the rest of them playing passively on A. So they made the correct call. They're going to make a move over onto the A side, get the free plant, and a 3-0 lead. However, keep in mind the overpass went the same way. Astralis started off with a 4-0 lead, and it started to crumble around them. MIBR, once that rifle round comes into play, that's where the game truly starts. It's not a huge amount to save here, honestly. They don't have Kevlar behind either Fur or Taco.
The best thing they can hope, I mean, Fur might just save that UMP. You can use that weapon in a gun run. The MAC-10, not so much, so I think Taco's just going to get in position, maybe get lucky and grab an AK-47 off Glaive. He's obviously very aware of this possibility. And with the HP and armor, he can just survive in pit with the rest of his teammates. So Taco may try and hunt that down right at the end, but Glaive is just too smart for it.
Yep, had 2 teammates watching the site. No reason to have 3 sets of eyes over there. They're all healthy enough to save. Dosia is not on the map. There is no HE flying their way into pit.
No need to worry. Dosia is not here. They're all fine.
Crisis averted.
So 3-0, first gun round coming in. Fur does keep that UMP in his hands. And AUGs surround it. There's no AWP on the board. Actually, excuse me, Fur drops it right at the last second. So they have 1 kit on coldzera. If they need a retake, he must be involved. MIBR's first chance to get into Inferno. And they must have this map. Taco and coldzera playing at the A bomb site. 3 players at top Banana to control on the defensive side. And Astralis, I think this round playing it passively, maybe just seeing what kind of utility is going to be thrown out for the Brazilians, taking notes for the future. And they're already up mid. They go through their own smokes, and actually this is an attack. It's only coldzera and Taco here. Taco's blocked off by the smoke. coldzera has to do something. Glaive with the peek. Now, great trades. And MIBR just cannot stem the tide. Shock and awe from Astralis and MIBR. I don't even know if they can go for this. Certainly not now that Fur falls. The damage is so low. Now they have a chance. Now they're close enough. Dupree and Zipnix. What can you do with such low HP?
Solid smoke and flash, though, is going to keep Phelps in position.
Oh my God.
So fortunate to get away with that. In the smoke, Dupree is going through all of his 9 lives and still lands a kill. That is unreal. Zipex on the approach catches Phelps with a grenade out, and Astralis are going to get the 4-0. But the luck on Dupree surviving there. If he goes down, it's a 2-on retake. It's so unlikely that Zipex takes both plays in a single spray.
Yeah, especially with low HP. And look at coldzera's position. He was the one with the kit, so he does fall. That kit is up on the balcony from his body. Even if that retake happens, even if Phelps is able to find Zipnix, the time would start becoming a factor in that one-on-one duel. Astralis pull off the unexpected, while MIBR has 3 players spending time controlling Banana and Car. Astralis win the round elsewhere.
Fallen, okay.
There's a low percentage fight, if I've ever seen one. Fur. Close up with the Deagle, but there's 3 players to contend with. There's the utility, there's the flashbang, but Magisk wasn't blind. It was behind him. And Astralis gonna march forward to what looks to be another round, a 5th round.
Phelps able to at least silence Device, but he's gonna catch a face full of shrapnel in return. coldzera may be able to get the 1 dig. Zipex is not gonna miss out. And Taco will at least make his Desert Eagle stand for something. It won't stand for a round win, though. Dupree's tracking him down, finds him, frags him, 5-0.
Well, 5-0. We're gonna get a bit of a pause right at the start of this round. But Astralis looking very clean, very clinical. They look like they want to go straight into the grand finals. MIBR on this side of the map as well. Normally expected to put up the bigger numbers on your defensive side, and they need to get into the action quick because this is going to slip away very quickly if Astralis is just able to continue this tear. So much money being built up by the Danish side as well.
It's of course the same map that MIBR really struggled against on Cloud9 back at the start, but that was in the T-half. The CT side had moments of glimmers. It was that T-half that really let them down, so that's what's worrying me at this stage.
Yeah, the problem too is you need more than glimmers, right? You need something that you can really rely on, and even if you go back to Overpass, the CT side there, they couldn't get a hold of their defense on that map either, their selection. So some troubles on the defense, just so you know as well some of the obstacles in the uphill battle that MIBR have. Astralis at the moment are on a 13-0 win streak on this map.
They have quite a few records, Jason.
Yeah, they really are starting to pile on.
Nuke, of course, is another one.
That's a streak that might never be broken on any map.
I believe we are in a technical timeout for the time being. Can tell you that MIBR, of course, have a full purchase. Will not include an AWP, only the one kit, but 4 AUGs and an M4. So plenty of firepower and grenades behind that.
Yeah, they're going to be situated nicely when this game resumes to at least fight. They still haven't been able to get the AWP out. I think that might be the big thing that they can rely on, because you can put Fallen, if you can post him up at car, cheat a player over towards that A bomb site, and then you can start making him mobile across the map, giving them looks with the AWP at A. Renegades knocked out by MIBR in the quarterfinals. NIP knocked out by Astralis as the path to get here to this moment, and the winner playing Ents, a surprising story. I'm amazed at how much this Katowice crowd has gotten behind Ents as these underdogs that have just marched through this event.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure whoever wins this game is going to be certainly not the favorites in the crowd. I think Ents will still have that crown.
Well, we are going to get things underway, and I just want to know, I was surprised at the start. Who here is rooting for Astralis? Do we have any MIBR fans still with us? All right, not bad. A little leaning towards Astralis, and they have that 5-0 lead. Going into round 6, Fer gonna get aggressive, and that is scary. No one offered up to him at the moment. More banana control coming out. Smokes and Molotovs being traded by each team. HG's coming deep in. Pretty decent chip on a Magisk, but he's not going to shy away. He's been aggressive. He's been stellar in this series. And this is wild. MIBR used all their utility to the B defenders, and now they're rotating them off of that bomb site, trading positions with Fer and Fallen. That left the B bomb site very exposed. Obviously, not too often you'll see an offensive team kind of take a super fast stance on that, but that's a risk. That could have been just a free round if Astralis just moved forward.
Yeah, especially after a bit of a lull in the action after a timeout. Some teams will go for hyper aggression, so it was looking a little bit shaky, but now normal service has resumed.
Well, now at least, I mean, that it pays off for MIBR. The B defenders have, more smokes. Fallen has a Molotov, so they have a couple things that can delay any kind of late round set piece. There's no idea. Phelps has no idea. He sees the gun barrel, though. Glaive is have to get out of that position. But Phelps was in a moment of danger there.
This is where Astralis can be a little bit more free. They have such a buffer of rounds. MIBR are going to feel the pressure of every single duel, every single frag that goes against them. What a shot by Phelps. Headshot into chest.
He didn't spot this, though. It's Fallen who's going to have to keep his eye out for it, which means Fer is going to be exposed. That Molotov and smoke on Fallen has been used. That's a big kill. Fer's got a Molotov himself. There's a counter flash, but he's got gun out Fer. He's going to hold on. MIBR might be getting their first round, but Device and Sipnik still alive. But there's only 8 seconds. They're going to have to back away from this. Try and get the bomb planted. I don't know if there's time. There's the kill, and the boost up is going to stop things. Device needs to get the hell out, but they're going to chase him. They don't have a lot of money, but they want to bait out a shot. It doesn't come, so Phelps backs away. MIBR on the board finally on Inferno.
A lot of excellent angles working out for the Brazilians. And Phelps with that spicy shot from Library.
Yeah, that was pretty dirty. I'm surprised. I think he was even surprised he hit that first bullet.
Unfortunate too, because if he doesn't land that, 2 players are through a notch, maybe Fallen can't spray them both. Here is the shot. That is absolutely nutty. Apex Court just trying to force the bomb down.
Yeah, only thing he could have done at that moment. Magisk now. Edge of the Flames. Steps in front of the AG, but Device eats it instead. That was a deep grenade. That money that Astralis is building up has been whittled down. And same thing again for MIBR. The initial defenders of the B bomb site being traded off. Fur and Fallen step into their place with the smoke Molotov combo. Trying to confuse the communication, confuse the read of Astralis. They'll be calling out as that B hit goes on. 1 Molotov, 1 smoke is used. Just so Glaive has an idea for the late rounds, but this swap of defenders could really skew that read.
Close angle again for Phelps. It's going to be a same result, but only twice as effective. Glaive and Dupree laid to rest. Excellent passage of play for MIBR. And with Device so low on his AWP, they can't afford to take any chances here, Astralis. They're going to have to be pushing forward. And there's a smoke to deny them.
That'll take us to just below 20 seconds left in the round. And do they really want to try and break into this bomb site? I think the answer is no. You can see them backing off. So there's that rotational strategy out of MIBR coming to fruition. It's going to net them their 2nd round, 2 in a row for MIBR, as Astralis don't want to fight. Not a whole lot of money as well, but with 3 weapons saved, Dupree and Glaive can get deagles, they can get CZs, they can have plenty of utility as they get the bonus money and their teammates do not. So you can still make something happen, and as we saw in an overpass, Astralis wins in a variety of ways.
That early rotation as well really could screw with Astralis' mind going through into the mid to latter portions of the round. When you're expecting those rotations to come in, they could just walk into crossfires expecting players to have gaps in this defense.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are going to be really intrigued to see how this plays out for the rest of this half. Because I think the end result of this eventually has to be maybe not doing that shift 1 round. And then all of a sudden Astralis trying to take advantage over towards A because they're saying, okay, if you're going to rotate them off, A is going to be weak late with no utility. And then all of a sudden you have those Molotovs in your face. We'll see, but there's at least an intriguing element of this game so far. Xyp9x did not want to fight in the Molotov.
Slower pace in this round as a result of the nade damage, I'm sure, in round 7. This does leave Fur on his own. It's going to be more of an 8-sided stack with Fallen over here. What a confidence shown to Fur. Now they're going to start to make a move with a sweeper roll of Fallen. And back to your standard 3-2 formation, but it's coldzera that's just been winged down to 15 health. I believe that was from Device and his AWP.
Yeah, I mean, coldzera takes the shot and just ignores it. Tries to go find more kills. Fallen still hasn't moved. Fallen and Fur now going to get aggressive towards B, and I think Device just saw... He saw his prey. That's Phelps. He cannot take a whole lot of steps. He is so restricted, and if he's not aware, that flashbang forces him back into the waiting arms. Device called it out, and now pressure on the A-bomb side. coldzera and Taco to defend. They're the only 2, and they must do it, but Taco is burning out into the open. coldzera's already low. Fallen not able to get back in time, and nothing to be done. Device finishes him off from earlier, and Device opens up the A-bomb site.
We're heading into a save. Astralis successfully stopped the 2-round streak of MIBR. An emphatic style as well, just straight out flashbang into execution.
And I mean, it's so magnificent to see because you don't need to have some super fancy set piece or strategy. It's just Device getting an angle. Bit of BM from Magisk. You do absolutely love to see it. But it's just simplicity. Device gets that angle towards small pit. Yeah, he spotted 1 out, but just 1 flashbang towards wrap side that Phelps eats causes him to just back away the smallest amount. and Device is able to punish.
It's a great call as well for the flashbang to force the first player out into the open. And Device will oblige with another couple afterwards. As a result of MIBR's save, though, they're going to have a very healthy investment. After this round, not so much, though. Falling down to $0. First, not much ahead of him at 200. At least we're seeing signs now of MIBR's CT side. Now we're seeing them land some shots.
It might be too late for just signs, though. Already down 6-2. If they get reset here, it might be all over before it really begins. There's the pop flash Fallen, just has to take a blind shot and back away. Mid control was almost there. Smoke goes up just at the right moment. But again, MIBR is able to, Astralis is able to gain control of Banana. We haven't really seen MIBR fight for it. We've seen those nades down, we've seen the Molotovs along the way, but we haven't seen any defense around the car, around the sandbags.
Yeah, I think the only round we saw was when Fallen had the MP9 and just charged out the Molotov into a firing squad. That's pretty much it. As you see, no, can't really counteractive grenades into control, as you say, which just gives up so much room for Astralis. It just chokes MIBR. They can't really fully get freed up.
It's a long time for MIBR to play without information, without map control. They might get caught out in the open, but it's Fur who comes out on top of that one. Gonna stay towards CT spawn. Here's that set piece. Smokes, Molotovs coming in. A perfect counter smoke. Phelps, he's got to hold the line.
So far, so good. 35 seconds. Flame or bullets. He decides to press forward. Actually jumps over the AWP shot somehow. He stalled for a very long time. 25 seconds remain. And Astralis, they're dipping out. They're going towards the A side. There's been no maneuverability at all. No movement. No sound over on B. MIBR, no. They've already trickled 2 players over, and Taco, he's whiffed that opportunity. Caldera's got down as well. Taco should be doing better.
Can he get in? Device, it's gonna be so close. I don't know if he can get this. He does, right at the last moment. Device is gonna be able to get this bomb planted. And a narrow one slips out of the grasp of MIBR. Now they must fight. They have no money left. They have to have this round.
They made the right call there, Moses, but the execution was just off. They could still salvage this round. With the kit, firepower is plentiful. But there's so many positions, so many close angles you have to watch out for. Fur is waiting. He wants Fallen to go and scout out first, but time is so scarce. They've got to move in right here, right now. If they're going to go for this defuse, it has to come in, and it's just going to backfire. Dupree with 2. Astralis moved to a 7-2 lead. And again, you go back to that spray on mid. That could have been the round ender.
Yeah, I think Taco was expecting a flashbang. You saw him look into the wall right before they turned that corner. This is so big. If the wrong kill, even that, Coldzera even gets the bomb planter. That's just a half second away from being planted. I'm not sure what this retake was. So deep into the bomb timer, and they didn't have a clue where anyone was at that point. You did have to go for it, but MIBR did not apply enough pressure early on to at least get a sense of where the post-plant positions were. And I think this might be the crack starting to show at MIBR. Such an experienced team and not going to go down without a fight, but I think they've given Astralis too many chances to build up a big lead.
Yeah, it did seem like death by indecision at the end. We've done better to just hold on to the guns and have something to play with on this one, but that's all in the past. In the here and now, MIBR truly up against it. Smoke and flash onto CT side. This is going to put Fur all alone, living in solitude. But now there's going to be 3 players around. They have a triple threat established from MIBR. The downside is it's just USPs. They do have a scout for Coldzera, trying his hand through the smoke, but nothing's connecting. Headshot into frag from Fur, but Coldzera with the scouts gone down. And Taco, the only player with an upgraded pistol, is in mid, and he's been found by Zipex. Could have no impact in the round at all.
There's only one last thing MIBR can really try and pull out of this defense, and unfortunately they just have never had the money for it. We still haven't seen an AWP out on Fallen. We know they like to play this map with a double AWP on Coldzera, and just no funds to make that happen. This has gone from bad to worse for MIBR, and we might want to see a timeout coming from their camp. Not going to get it this round.
somewhat surprising. They've got plenty to use.
I said they're going to fight to the end, Vince, but it feels like they're just not fighting in the right spots. You have to restrict the amount of map that you're giving Astralis. This smoke isn't going to do enough. As soon as this fades, if you're not there to battle or at least delay, it makes things so difficult. Astralis has been able to march up and execute on the B bomb site whenever they've wanted it. They've been able to march up and get bracket control whenever they've wanted it. They're going to have it again. Great counter flash, great peek from Fur, but immediately traded.
The bomb still dropped back at T-Spawn. Astralis, they can't fully commit to anything at this stage. And with coldzera getting that kill, maybe going to be looking for a second, but Dupree's too fast on the trigger.
Nicely done from Fallen. That leaves Xyp9x in a 1 versus 2. And as you said, the bomb's so far away. Can he somehow pull this off? Phelps is convinced that Xyp9x is going to come from the A bomb site. He's not even looking towards lane, not even looking towards mid whatsoever. A big risk being taken. I'm not sure why Phelps might think he's in library or CT spawn, but he's very fortunate that Xyp9x has taken the path that he has.
Of course, on the other hand, MIBR have no idea the bomb is back there. They haven't seen vision of it yet.
No, but the tough part is because Phelps is so convinced, Fallen was actually being pulled away. I don't know if Xyp9x can actually win this round. Now he spotted Fallen. Now they realize their mistake. He has the bomb. There's only 12 seconds. He must go to A. And there's no time for any of this. And at this point, you might as well just bail out and save the weapon. And he's going to find safety in the halls. So MIBR are going to win a round, but it's not pretty, but they'll take what they can get at this point.
Absolutely will. A mistake from Astralis is going to cost them dearly. If Xyp9x had control of the bomb, can start to play mind games. As we know, he is so good at pulling off. But 3 to 8, life yet perhaps for MIBR. Taco's going to drop down to an MP9, affords him more grenades, but again, a distinct lack of AWP. Fallen just hasn't been able to get his hands on one. Their economy's never been in good enough shape. Now we're starting to see a bit more banana presence from MIBR. He's putting 2 players down there towards sandbags. Ooh. Significant nade damage to Glaive and Device. They're going to back away. So one of the first times MIBR actually are going to establish some control over on this side of the map.
Device looking for it. Still focused, still aware of the possibility. Fallen crouching all the way back, and he's going to get away safely. Shoot a little bit of time off the clock, but didn't force any losses onto the Astralis side. A minute still remaining in the round. Astralis have control of Banana, they have control of brackets, and they have got plenty of nades. 4 smokes, a plethora of flashes, even a Molotov on Xyp9x. What's the call here? Might fall into a mid to B split with all this room that they have. Glaive gonna put out a smoke, see what the response is. No one has eyes on this from MIBR. 35 seconds left now.
Trying to draw what remains of MIBR's nade count into play. Now, the set play is in motion. Solid Molotov's gonna force a smoke out. This does skew a bit of the vision across from Astralis though. They're going in blind, but now their eyes have cleared. Taco from the shadows with an MP9 spray, and coldzera are turning this round on its head. coldzera cleans it up. And MIBR will pick up a 4th round and a 2nd in a row.
Nice crossfire setup. Taco just hiding until the action begins. Peeks up at the right moment. And finally, I think MIBR, they've actually accomplished it. I think they're going to force Astralis onto a save, or a half buy at the very least. Nicely done from Taco. Even better spray control and spray transfer from coldzera. So MIBR still in this. They have upgraded pistols to go against, not a lot of nades.
Well, that flashbang's absolutely spot on though. coldzera fully blinded. Didn't have anyone there to help him out. The CZ's not going to double up. But Phelps has been dropped to 40. This is more pressure than you'd expect from such a low investment. starting to look a lot more bright, though, for MIBR now that some of the kills have been put down.
That was a huge kill from Phelps towards the B bomb site to really stop Device. If he goes down, Astralis just runs all the way back to B. There's a small crack in that smoke. Fur's got to be careful. It's actually come out on top of that. Spotted Zipnix first, gets the damage in with the rifle, falls away. Molotov might take out Zipnix, but nope, doesn't spread in time. Fur's gonna get aggressive behind it, finds and finishes that kill. And Dupree knows there's no point in going back for the bomb. The chances of him getting into a site and having a chance to plant is slim to none. Fur shuts him down. 3 kills for the aggressive Brazilian rifler.
Yeah, and speaking of aggression, I do wonder at this stage if MIBR are going to try and put more assertiveness on Banana, or particularly Apps. We haven't really seen them push Apps either. There's been a couple of rounds with pistols, but not with rifles.
Yeah, it might be, yeah, true. They've had so much success elsewhere, maybe just haven't felt the need to really experiment with it. 8-5, but MIBR coming back in this, 3 in a row, trying to close out this half. They would love to get to 7. And here we go. Oh, look at this call. Trying to suffocate, flashbang over the wall, Glaive not prepared, Device not prepared, and Phelps only gets 1, but the response is magnificent. And now they can wrap behind. Dupree is gonna check this, and he's gonna do it with impunity. Coldzera trying to hold on as long as possible, but again, the whole map. And now look at Zipnix just taking liberties. He's in pit, and Taco's stuck out in the open.
Smoke's not gonna buy him up anytime either. Taco decides to press forward. Especially when you're a player behind, you've got to take risks, you've got to take gambles, but Mages finds him, pins him down. Leaving Coldzera with it all to do alone. 1 on 3, heads taken off. Astralis walk to a 9-5 lead.
The communication of Astralis has to just be so good that they're able to know exactly how to maneuver in those scenarios. Unfortunate for Taco, he thinks Zipnix is all on his own, just trying to hold on to pit. Magis coming up lane, just wrecks him. So now MBR fights for 6. And the first time, I believe, that Fallen has been able to have the AWP, it's going to come out in this round. It's going to come out in round 15. It just feels too late. We'll see what it can do. It has to have impact immediately.
Yeah, curious to see what he's going to do with it. Is he going to go for a fast play up Banana? Looks like it. There's a HE and a flashbang just beforehand, but Device is a step ahead. MIBR would be wise to hold back. First by his lonesome MP9 in hand. Not quite close enough to retrieve the AK. So he may have to stand his ground and fight until the bitter end. He still so much wants it, and he's going to get the reward. Does lose more than 50% of his health, but a pick and an AK, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's those long arms, finally gets the reach. Man advantage for MIBR, but running out of nades. Astralis just so efficient with their own utility at taking Banana that they always have so much to play with no matter where they go in the late round. And here we go, another set piece. Fallen. He has got a big decision to make. When those smokes come in, does he step in front or does he play for retake? Flashed off the angle. There's the smoke as they turn the corner. The boost has to be effective. Fur spots 1. Magis didn't check it. He gets it falling down. He gets it with the follow-up. And now they're going to survive for the retake. A 5-on-3.
You have the answer to your question as well, Moses. He's going to play for the retake, especially with a 2-player, making a 3-player advantage. Looking good. Bomb still hasn't been planted, but will be in a few moments. Dupree sees bullets whiz past his head. Device slots 1 between the eyes of Fur. Dupree and Device have to hold the line. Last round of the half, so much on. MIBR desperately require this, you have to feel, if they're going to go into this second half. All guns blazing. Flashbangs on point, but so's the headshots. Device is going to fight 1. So much damage done to Coldzera, but there's Phelps. Orc in hand. Silences Dupree, and MIBR, it's going to be very close, but they've got the defuse.
Yeah, they've got it. It's going to be 6 rounds for MIBR. They had to fight tooth and nail to get to this point, but they've gave themselves a fighting chance. 4 of the last 5. The second half is going to be no easier. Astralis looking strong here in the semifinals of IEM Katowice, and we'll find out if they're going to close it out when we return. 7 rounds is all Astralis needs to make it to their 3rd major grand final here in Katowice. Just 7 rounds away for brushing aside the danger of this Brazilian roster, which has built speed and momentum in this event so far, but it might just get stopped here. A really rough first half, and they must dig deep. This has to be a masterclass of a T-side for MIBR.
They have ran into the juggernaut of Astralis. Dupree can count himself lucky. He's been dodging quite a few bullets here on Inferno. But no early casualty of war on either side. Some ground is being gained, though, by Fur. Not going to get peeked by Dupree. Happy to just stay on the balcony for the time being. Posturing back and forth. There's a lot of utility. Flashes, smokes, a couple of Molotovs. Taco, though, going to get drilled on the approach and finished off. The Molotov did go onto Graveyard, and Phelps is going to get one. Dupree, was that a jumping shot from Fallen? Are you serious? He certainly is. He's picked up a second. Going to be baiting out, trying to draw a player into the open. Surely he's not going to get Glaive as well. He spots Glaive, lands the headshot, and now Fallen has a fast track to the B site, but Zipex, this is where his experience, this is where his decision-making is going to be fully tested. 2 huge brains of Counter-Strike going to duke it out to the bitter end. This would be an unbelievable clutch if Fallen pulled this out of the hat. He's done a bit of damage to Zipex. Both positions now known. Zipex has a kit in the smoke, close range. Going to be determining who takes this one away for their team. It's so important for MIBR, but Fallen is going to get denied. And Astralis can take the 2nd pistol and a 10th round. Such a heroic attempt, though, from Fallen.
God bless. How do you beat Zipnix? What an absolute freak of a clutch human being. 10-6. Fallen did everything he possibly could. Those were some incredible shots to get into that situation. I feel like even pro players have to just hit tab and you see you're up against Zipnix and you just cry a little bit inside.
That internal scream, even a player of Fallen's stature. Superb attempt, but just falling on the final hurdle.
Well, a hero buy comes out for MIBR. They passed the AK-47, Fallen able to afford that due to his kills and the help of the plant. Fur had the hot hand on overpass. He's going to take Boiler, peering towards lane. It's Dupree who would be first up, but Magisk is there as well with an angle if he needs to swing out wide. Can support in response. MIBR has to let this AK-47 do the work. They have no nades. They were reliant upon it. And look at that. Glaive and Zipnix just baiting Phelps into an awkward situation. Fur still hasn't made his move. They're waiting for the smoke to clear on Rap side. There goes Phelps through the smoke. Taco is hoping for someone to force Device into his crosshairs. Fur still hasn't made a move. 45 seconds left. They must start going forward. And Fur's going to be the point man leading up Rap side, waiting for the repeat. It would be huge. Dupree holding the angle. There he goes. Dupree now going to get aggressive. Coldzera's going to go down, and Taco, he gets a kill, but there's nothing for him to build upon. Astralis now at 11, just 5 rounds away from the grand finals, where Ents, the Finnish phenoms, await them.
Caused many an upset, but so far Astralis, they're digging deep and they're getting wins. However, MIBR are going to have a bye. Plenty of smokes to play with. Already seeing that the intent from Astralis is a lot more aggressive when it comes to Banana. But now they're against full rifles. Are they going to respect that a little bit more? That's a brilliant pick to start things off. Device caught with a grenade out. Early doors favoring MIBR, but Mages, the lifeblood of Astralis, is able to shun away one player. He will lose his life in the process, and MIBR still in great shape here in round 18. They've got to convert this, though.
They really do. It's going to be tough. Zipnix is smoked off over towards car. He's gonna love that. Look at Glaive getting aggressive, just enough damage. Chips away, lets the fire finish his work. And Dupree is now lying in wait. How does MIBR handle this situation? They have utility. They've got a minute to play with. Dupree is awaiting contact. It'll be Zipnix, though, who receives it first. Now rotated towards CT Spawn. He can't get away from that fight. He can't get away from the headshot. And that's gonna open up. MIBR says, you're the B defender. We just picked you off in CT Spawn. You're rotating over to help, so we're just gonna take your bomb site for free. Dupree does nothing to do, and it's gonna be a 7th. MIBR are doing like a cliffhanger impression in this map, it feels. Great shot from Phelps. Astralis right on the verge of being able to buy it. If you have any indication of how they've handled their economy in previous games in this tournament so far, it'll be a very small investment. Upgrade to pistols, some utility. But with a lead of this stature, it's not anything too powerful, but with this lead of 4 rounds, they're gonna be patient and wait till the guns and the nades are in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't force up and put your economy down the drain. Allow MIBR to get very close, breathe down your necks. So certainly the correct decision. Playing it for the longer haul rather than the here and now. Dupree still with the Desert Eagle, though, could do some damage. And he could see action momentarily. There's one, able to duck away. Not able to retrieve the gun. Making sure they cannot pick that up, so Taco is going to take it away into mid. Meanwhile, they're applying pressure over on the B side of the map.
They're going to get re-aggressive in these halls. Taco's got to be careful. He's all alone. Meanwhile, Fallen and Phelps going to start pressuring and peeking in towards this B bomb site. Great shot from Fallen. That might prompt a response that Taco can take advantage of, but actually he does. Dupree goes out. He had the first shot, but Taco responds perfectly. Magisk has found the AK-47 on the other side of the map. Meanwhile, Astralis is holding off this B hit. Phelps not able to contend with Zipnix, and Magisk, the snake in the grass. If he turns this around, he is a goddamn champion. We'll see if he can do it, but they have him trapped. They know what's coming, Astralis. This is a chance.
Oh no, MIBR, they've lost Taco. That's information gathered. They're pincered, they're sandwiched between 2 very dangerous Danish lines. 15 seconds coming up on the timer. They're going to be jumping up on the boost. They've stopped the bomb from being planted.
Oh, God.
Fallen's going to have to try his hand at the plant now. But in doing so, Zipex rushes to his demise. Magisk is here. 4 seconds left. This is going to be the round to Astralis. How has this happened?
No other team can do that. No other team has the trust in their teammates. A USP, MIBR, needs to find some courage because they got held off. They got delayed so long with AK-47s facing up against 1 USP and a second that rotates over late. I cannot believe that Astralis is able to stall them out in that fashion. And it's just so smart. Fighting during a retreat, just letting Magisk get closer and closer to have his impact, and MIBR fails to protect the plant from a boost. A series of mistakes for MIBR, and that was a chance for them to build so much momentum.
Yeah, it's especially devastating. That was their fast track back into Inferno. And it's just been completely derailed now. They're into a force.
That's a worrying sign that they played that round so scared.
Was that the round that sent the Brazilians sprawling out of the major and Astralis into the grand finals? Certainly a gut punch. Can MIBR recover? Phelps did spot a player, but doesn't want to spray through the smoke, especially when he's one of the only 2 players with an assault rifle in his hands.
Well, there they are, desperately trying to get their team involved. MIBR backs against the wall certainly now. AK-47 on Coldzera, AUG on Phelps, those are the rifles. The plan here, send bodies out of A-halls, try and take this over. They're gonna wait for the Molotov. Taco's all clear to throw his out. There's the smoke. Flashbang maybe hoping that that pit player would be forced out by the flames into the arms of the blind Flashbang, but it's not gonna work. Magisk has played this to perfection. He's got the bomb down. Even blind, he gets a kill. Even with no vision. Fallen with one, but that's gonna be it. Phelps is coming in late with the backstab, and he's got a 1-on-2.
Has plenty of health. That grenade didn't do any damage. Just the wrong side of the wall, I'm assuming. There is time though to pull this one off. He's seen that Magisk is on pit. Knows where the second player is. Now this quickly switches in his favor, but Magisk is going to be able to drill through his head. And surprise, surprise, this man in the right position at the right time once again.
He is so good. He plays that pit spot perhaps better than anyone else. In 13-7, that performance there from Magisk, including the clutch, obviously, gives Astralis the red carpet for the grand finals. It's laid out. All they must do now is walk across it. 13-7, MIBR have nothing to fight with. They have no money. Just two upgraded pistols with no utility.
Truly terrifying times for MIBR. Their T-half hasn't yielded much. And now Astralis gonna take the initiative, and Zipex through the smoke gets yet another kill. Didn't really expect much from this round. It was by and large Glocks with a Deagle. So far it's delivered nothing. Bit of damage to Glaze, but he's gonna be able to shrug that off. Showing the confidence, he actually pushes down where the gunfire was coming from. Gonna cost him his life though. Coldzera is able to get one. Zipex will shut him down before he can get close enough to do anything about it. And there we have it, Astralis 14-7. This is it. It's do or die time for MIBR.
What a massive run they've got to go on. They've got to close this gap, and they've got to do it efficiently, and they're gonna start out with a hindered investment into nades. Everything they possibly can bring forward, but Astralis is starting to get to that point where they can taste it. They're starting to get to that point where you can see how confident they are, the fights they take, the peaks they take, the positioning they utilize. Can MIBR stop this train from making it to the grand finals? Fast towards Banana. Fur's gonna lead the way on logs.
Bit of damage, of course. Oh my goodness, the damage, the grenades spray through the smoke.
It's the combination, right? It's the spray that forces someone in towards logs, the only piece of safety, and somehow Glaive still finds him in the smoke. So much damage. A kill and 19 HP on Fur. This is what MIBR never did to Astralis. Never made them work for this banana control. And Astralis is giving them a masterclass in return.
Astralis simultaneously flipping the kill switch, dulling all the senses for MIBR, but Taco regains his momentarily. He's at least going to pull it back to a 4-on-4. Plenty of time at their disposal. What they do with it is going to be a very interesting prospect, because so far, Astralis have battered away everything that MIBR have thrown at them. Smoke planted down, device waiting for a potential push. Narrowly off on the spray, they're all across the Archer's side. Now, neither of Astralis are over here, so the long-range skirmish could favor them, but of course, once again, the HE comes to their aid.
No, but MIBR is hesitating. This three-man pack went all the way to Rap side, never pushed up it, and then they come all the way back to lane when their teammate has fallen. They have no idea how to get into this bomb site. 15 seconds on the clock, and Magisk is going to be called upon one more time. This time he can't deliver the frags, but Device lies in wait. They don't check it. They don't check anything. That's the bomb down, that's the round over. Taco, he can't do anything, just some superficial kills at the end. And Astralis are gonna be on series point.
Able to hold on to his AK at least, but they didn't expect the double stack. They got Magisk, one if not the best pit player in the world. But it was all about Device. 2 huge kills, 8 match points to Astralis.
Ooh. The roller coaster of emotions on this big stage from Dupree. Well, it's time. Astralis generally does not wait around to close these games out, and Xyp9x gets him started again through the smoke. Why not? Fallen is shut down, and there's one more on top. Phelps tries his hand, and it's swatted aside as well. Astralis defense has been phenomenal. 6 of 7 rounds in this half. MIBR out of ideas, out of time.
It truly has been an impenetrable defense. Perfect utility, perfect timings, perfect calls. Across the board, Astralis have looked far superior. Glaive by himself, gonna have to hold the line. They're gonna go aggressive. Coldzera will get the upper hand. Maybe there's life yet in this Brazilian squad.
They don't have a smoke, they're gonna have to fight for this cross. They just throw the bomb over to Coldzera, who's gonna get that planted. MIBR staving off elimination, perhaps just a little bit longer. Now Astralis is rotating in. They're hurt on money. They might choose not to go for this. I think they're gonna see if they can find a kill.
I think it's all about this first confrontation. If it doesn't go their way, they pull the plug. If it does, they go in. Magisk also making a move up banana. So they have the rotation in effect. They have the flank coming in. In a flurry, a frenzy. Taco is watching. Xyp9x being tagged from multiple angles, gets the first, Magisk with a second. It's all down to Fur. They know where he is. He's gonna get caught, and Astralis will move through potentially. He's gonna be very close actually, but I think they have the defuse. A masterful melding of skill, determined, and composure. A real symphony of Counter-Strike from Astralis.
They withstood everything on Overpass. Inferno was a cakewalk. Astralis 16-7, 2-0. They move on to those grand finals. The undisputed kings of Counter-Strike are gonna have a crack at another trophy. They're gonna have to get past ENCE to do it. But they've always shown they're up to the task.
Handshakes being exchanged, and in this moment, Astralis look to secure themselves another major championship here. It started out having to beat up on MIBR, and well, the first map could have went either way. Now it is all in stone. 16-7 the scoreline here on Inferno. MIBR the lesser, and they're going to have to try again another day. Denmark all united behind this Astralis team, and there's not a better time to do it, Jacob.
No, there definitely is not. Astralis once again showcasing why they are #1 team in the world right now. MIBR gave them a decent fight. I think we saw glimpses of potential, but in the end, there was no doubt that Astralis were the better team.
Yeah, it's very easy to just say, oh, we all expected Astralis to be in the finals. Oh, they're the best team in the world. They should be there. But this team did this all year last year, and for them to come into 2019 with that same desire, the same discipline, the same innovation, and wind up in the finals of the first major of the year is just a testament to how hardworking this team is.
It's one thing to be ahead of the curve, but it's another to set the curve yourself and then to continuously round it on your own, within your own devices, within your own sort of constructs. These guys continuously, time and time again, setting the bar in their own way, and that alone is a challenge.
And I mean, we often talk about how well they work together in the game, but let's talk a little bit outside of the game, right? The management of Astralis is constantly pushing these guys to perform at a very high level. They're skipping tournaments left and right to make sure that they're mentally able to always focus on the next task ahead, something other teams could learn from. Astralis is not only the best on the server, but definitely also outside of the server.
And we're not going to be skipping around very much longer. We might even just skip on down to the stage. We've got OJ standing by with Magisk.
Thank you, Moses. And it seems like Groundhog Day. We've been here before, speaking to a member of Astralis before a grand final. It was tight in the first map. In the second map, though, you guys took control.
Yeah, first map was insanely nervous for everyone, I think, in the server. And it was small rounds that made the difference. And that was in our favor today. And that's something we're really happy about, but they played really good, and that's how it is, and we played good as well.
Why the nerves from you in Overpass? You've won so much. You've been at the top of the tree for so long. Why the nerves?
Well, if you don't have nerves, I don't think you're doing the right job. Everyone is supposed to have nerves, otherwise they don't care about the game. And everyone on our team have nerves as well. That's normal, and that's how it is. And you have to use that nerve as something good, and that's what we try to do all the time, and use it as something to make us even better as players. And yeah.
Shows the hunger. Zonic, when he was chatting to Frankie in the break between the maps, he said that you were very emotional. You were all emotional at the end of that first map. Why was that?
This is everything for me. This is my life. This is not a hobby. This is something we do all the time. We travel all the year, and you miss family, you miss your friends and stuff like that. This is all we do, and therefore I also put so much emotions into it because it means a lot for me to win, and that's everything I want to.
Were you surprised by the pick of Overpass?
Yeah, actually, we got surprised a little bit by Overpass. We didn't expect them to take it, but that's how it is sometimes. And I think this whole tournament, everyone has been trying to surprise us in the vetoes and to try and catch us off guard, and they did today as well. But yeah.
As soon as you see a team on the back foot, you tend to put your foot on the throat. Is that something that you do as a team?
Yeah, I think it's everyone understanding that no matter how difficult it looks, we can always do a comeback, and we can always manage to win close rounds and make it into our favor. And that's what we did on Overpass. It looked really bad in the beginning. We didn't get so many CT rounds, and we still kept grinding, and we kept winning the important rounds, and it just went into our favor.
Well, tomorrow you're taking on ENCE, which has been an underdog story. They've made it through to a grand final. Are you worried by anything they bring to the table?
I mean, you're not making it into a grand final if you're not a good team. They have been playing some amazing CS, and I think it's going to be a good game tomorrow. We won't take lightly on them because they have already knocked out Liquid and Na'Vi this tournament, so they're definitely a good team, and we have to be playing our best if we want to win tomorrow.
You're saying all the right things. Listen, it's once again amazing to watch you play. It's amazing to see you in another grand final. If I can get you to sign that for me. Put your hands together for Magisk and Astralis. Another grand final. They'll be up for winning that major here in the Spodek tomorrow.
The final boss, as they've been called, Astralis find themselves yet again sitting on the precipice of a major championship. And we're right on the cusp ourselves here of getting you into something we asked you to get involved with at home. And now is the time we show you the Mountain Dew Amped Game Fuel Power Play, brought to you by Pimp.
The Mountain Dew Amped Game Fuel Power Plays.
And who else to deliver that power play than Dupree himself? We're taking a look at round number 29 on Overpass, a very impactful play by Dupree. We can quickly jump into the clip. We can scroll ahead a little bit. This is the round. Score is currently 14-14. Pressure is on. Dupree is currently located here at the truck. And watch this. He is keeping his cool the entire time. This is why Dupree is such a great player. This is why he's so impactful when he plays Counter-Strike. He does not move despite teammates going down left and right. He keeps his cool. He waits for the moment, and then he strikes. Looking at the play on his point of view as well. Just look at this. You can see teammates going down, left and down. Dupree does not move. He's calm as ever before, and he's such an impactful player when it comes down to these very tense situations. Dupree with by far the most impactful play here on Overpass, securing Astralis that win that inevitably made them win the entire game on Overpass.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you, Jacob. I couldn't have put it any more eloquently. And if I tried, I could sit here and tell you a story about a team called ENCE, but also that'll be tomorrow's story. For now, we need to wrap up that as MIBR story because that does end the road here for them.
I definitely think there's a lot of promise for this MIBR team. We can't forget there's still a new roster. Zeus and Taco just coming back to the squad. They obviously added Fur back in. Phelps back in.
Yeah.
They lost all 4 pistols in the series. They had terrible starts. This second map, they lost an eco. I mean, there's so many things that went wrong. Glaive had a field day through the smoke. Zipic's winning one-on-ones. Astralis doing the standard stuff to them.
Some of the things that you couldn't forecast if you tried, Jacob.
I mean, MIBR can be proud. Simple as it is. They got into top 4. They secured another spot for the next major as well. And as you said, it's still a relatively new team. So managing expectations is something we're not often good at within this CS community, but them going into the top 4 and actually putting up a fight against Astralis in the first event together as a team again, that's a positive sign. Let's not sugarcoat it though. They were by far being outplayed by Astralis, and they're by no means close to be able to beat them. But given the future, given the signs that we saw at this tournament, I think MIBR can be proud, and I think definitely there's something to be worked on within the team.
Well, the interesting part there from the interview, he was talking about the veto process. I mean, they ended up on overpass, and well, they were pushed to the brink there. But overall, MIBR faltering, and then that leaves an Astralis now that might be showing some weakness, might be showing some sort of fragility.
I mean, we always have known, you know, Astralis is a little bit weaker on overpass, Mirage, and Train. Those are the maps that you can attack them. That's what makes tomorrow interesting, is because those are maps that ENCE are particularly good at.
But I love it, right? We talk about Astralis showing weakness even when they're winning maps. Like yesterday, they won Dust 2 against NIP, which linked to herself. All right, Astralis, maybe a little bit of weakness shown on Dust 2. Again today, Overpass, maybe a little bit of weakness shown, but they're still winning the games, right? That's how good Astralis is. Despite them winning, we still like count that as a weakness, and I'm not sure that it's even fair to do to Astralis.
Well, it's not going to be fair at all if you are playing against Astralis. That's just the way it looks from the outside, right? I mean, these guys being the absolute final boss of Counter-Strike, seemingly going to keep that run alive going into 2019, as this year is starting to spiral. I mean, guys, overall, we have finally landed ourselves into a grand final. An unlikely suspect in ENCE, and then also Astralis kind of, okay, everyone kind of put up there, so some pick'ems are still alive, Sean?
Most pick'ems are probably still alive if they have Astralis in it. Astralis has not dropped even a map in major playoff series, two straight majors now.
Yeah.
So ENCE definitely has a tall task at him. This is truly a David versus Goliath scenario.
I mean, I'm just a little bit afraid that ENCE is going to have too big of a task ahead of them, right? What they've done so far in the tournament is incredible. Nobody expected them to do it, but Astralis, that's just another level. Yes. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Can ENCE actually put up a fight against Astralis? Maybe even win a map? That would be a huge storyline, and I think regardless, you know, it's a major final. I think a lot of other factors will play in as well. Astralis are not experienced in major finals. They've been there before, obviously, but you never get experienced in a situation where you're about to win the biggest tournament that you can win in Counter-Strike.
And, well, winning being the word there that you're going to kind of give us, there is also a loser in these equations. And I think Chad says it best when he says on the desk that somebody has to lose, right? I mean, that's just how these things work. And I don't think that there's enough praise given to the actual people or players that come forward and say, hey, you know what, I will do the loser interview. But in this instance, we're going to have Fallen standing by side Frankie.
Fallen, tell me a bit about what happened in tonight's semi-final.
It was a very difficult match. We felt that we could have won the first map. When the series against Astralis is always like that, it's like nail biting, and it came over on the details. We lost both pistols the first map. We lost an eco, but we have some very good rounds as well. And it was about the details. Like the 14-14 round was very tough to win, and they got control on the side after we were on a 5v4. So there are many rounds on the first map where we could have won the match. And on the second one, Inferno is a tough map. They're very good on this map. We made some mistakes, and they clearly were very superior on that one. But for us, it's a learning experience. The team just got back now. We played for like 20 days only together, and this is just the beginning for us.
Can I clear up a mystery, though? Was Overpass a deliberate strategic pick because you knew it was one of Astralis' weaker maps?
Well, it's hard to choose a map to play Astralis because they're very good on all maps, including Cash, that they perma-ban. They're super good on that one. So it's a very difficult team to beat. But Overpass is one that we felt confident, that we felt that we could have won. And it's a... it doesn't know. Maybe if we play all the maps, a couple other maps we could have won. But I never know. We chose Overpass. It was a good choice for us, in my opinion. And it almost paid off.
Well, it was incredibly clever because they just weren't expecting it, so they couldn't really prepare for you. But I want to ask how you prepared for them, because of course you've got Coach Zeus and you've got Taco, who were on Liquid last year, and Liquid, well, we all know the story of Liquid and Astralis last year. So how useful was their intel?
Well, I think they're using more about what we know, how to beat Astralis, because we have been very close in the past. So on that regard, they didn't bring much on this matchup specifically. But I'm proud of my teammates. I'm proud of the work we have been doing. And what I can tell you guys is that we're going to be back. It's just a question of time. Astralis, they are very difficult to play against. Those guys are like robots. But we have been beating them in the past, and we can do it again. We just need some more time.
I love a little bit of fighting talk to close things out. Thank you so much, Fallen. Congrats on making the top 4, and let's head back to the desk.
Thank you, Frankie, and thank you, Fallen. Yes, they have fallen, but for everything considered, these guys put up a hell of a fight here. And just from your guys' perspective, from having been in situations such as these, and regardless of the scale of the stage and everything considered, that's got to be a hard one to give answers to.
I mean, definitely is. I don't think I've ever had to give a losing interview like that leaving the stage. It's always a really emotional time. And Fallen actually had well put together thoughts. He conveyed everything that he needed to. I mean, hats go off to him. They played a very good game on Overpass, and Inferno, Astralis is clearly, such a strong team. They never stood a chance here.
It speaks for his character as a person as well, right? Fallen always coming out and giving these well-driven interviews, being very honest about it as well, not really lying or denying any of the stuff that happened. So again, I think he's right when he's saying MIBR need a little more time before we can fully judge them. But as said, a top 4 at a major is by no means a bad result at all.
Not at all, and hanging your head is something you can't do, and we won't be doing that anymore over the MIBR Astralis topic. What we can do is walk you through these brackets to see how the playoffs have played out thus far. We do have 2 grand finalists on our hands, and ENCE and Astralis. Yeah, that's right. Every time I say it, it just feels a little stranger and stranger. But ENCE Esports, the Finnish esports organization from Finland, will be in a major final tomorrow against Astralis. Guys, what else do we see around this bracket?
I mean, that's all there is to see, right? I mean, ENCE defeated the #2 team in the world, the #3 team in the world, and tomorrow they're going to be going up against the best team in the world, Astralis. It would be by far the best major run of all time. We can't forget, I mean, Cloud9 had a miraculous major run, but they were the #5 team in the world at the time.
I mean, look at that side of the bracket, right? You have Na'Vi, you have FaZe Clan, and you have Team Liquid. If anyone would have told me that ENCE would be the team from that side of the bracket going into the final, I probably would have called them a lot of bad stuff. So, in that regard, ENCE is definitely delivering at a level we haven't seen before, and it's cool to see. I mean, it's not like they're limping into the final. It's not like we're saying they're getting lucky or anything. They're earning it with the play they're earning it with the play that is playing right now, winning Counter-Strike. It's definitely a new level and a great thing for the Finnish era of Counter-Strike.
Well, the Finnish era of Counter-Strike is upon us, or potentially the continued reign of the Danes, which we're going to be taking a look at tomorrow. Because that does it for us here. We're done, data, finito, and good night, everybody. We'll be back with the game itself going live in roughly 19 hours and 58 minutes, give or take a few seconds. But obviously, we'll be around well before that. Thank you all for joining us. And again, good night.
Never fade out.